And there they go. 300 rubies in Link's house. Not a pretty good start. Not a bad start at all. Dynasty setting up for the tree pull. I'm sorry, Dynasty is while bytesizedBK, bomb drops, very nice from the tree pull. While Rambler goes to the Houlihan room to pick up his rupees, so he's gonna be set once he goes to Link's house for quite a bit. Uncle giving Link his allowance. And just not much down in escape for what they can check right now. Bite size about to go there as well. Get his allowance and a piece of heart. No, doesn't look like he. Yeah, he is. He's setting up for the tree pull. And we're going up to check the lumberjack, see if Aga 1 is required. Little bug only giving rupees, which 5s are nice. A little bit of extra money. Never a bad thing. And I think that was a piece of heart if I saw correctly on the ledge. Might have mislooked. Bomb upgrade, where mushroom is. And Dynasty heading down into Kakariko Village. Both having plenty of bombs to make that easier. So far, nothing really in Blind's house, unfortunately.
Thus far, we have seen no items other than bombs.
Nope.
Now, you've been racing in this tournament, Suika, right?
Yes, I was in this group right here with Dynasty and BK, yes.
How have you been doing?
Oh, I've been out of the tournament, sadly. I've already done all my matches, so no, I've been out of the tournament, unfortunately.
Now, as I understand it, if we have a win from bytesizedBK, then there's a three-way tie at the top of this group at 3-1. Would that be correct?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Flippers at the bottom motion for 100 rupees. A very good buy there. Not a bad deal.
Absolutely worth 100 rupees.
Though they
And
do have a bottle at least, so they can check sick kid.
And a successful chicken clip from Dynasty.
Very important there.
So Bite Size is using the Andy Pug sprite, and Dynasty0 is using Gary's Lunchbox.
It's always been a very weird choice for Dynasty, but he's been doing pretty good through the tournament so far.
And we've got silvers
in the bar. Guess someone might have left him as collateral one day to pay for the tab.
So how long do you think it's going to be till we see a sword? Till we see a runner get a sword, rather?
In this budget, it normally doesn't take that too much. Normally doesn't take too long with V26. Now, sword upgrades, that could take a little bit, because V26 normally wants you in dungeons as soon as possible.
Dynasty0 just YOLOing the race game.
Hopefully it's something good. That's what I'm guessing what he's betting on. With 100 rupees, can get him up to Zora. So he can check all of Zora's domain now, while also going down to do Mini Molder Cave.
I was going to ask if we're going to see a fake flippers, but we can see the fake flippers, i.e. the real flippers.
That is very true.
I know it's one of the... Sometimes you get those items where you get them really early and you forget you have them. Flippers can be that way. The one that I get, that's the one that I always get, we've got boots!
Boots at the dam. And at least they were protected in the chest this time and not soggy. Very nice find as early as it was.
Oh, yes. Boots is another one that I tend to forget if I get it really early. But the one that I'm most notorious for forgetting when I get real early is Flute.
Well, with the randomizer, it's easy to forget items because a lot of seeds have you go without the item you want on luxury items for a long time.
Now, Dynasty needs to be careful down here around Mini Moldorm because those crabs do 2 hearts of damage.
That is very true. Having to go with bomb strats without a sword or a hook shot gets it done fairly easily, taking a little bit of damage, though he's got to be real careful with the crabs. Now, you can only take one other hit. Magic Kate, not a bad find.
Yeah, the seed may be pushing him towards Aghanim 1.
Quite possibly, but they still need to fight a sword upgrade for them to do that. Or a sword at least. And the lamp, because added dark rooms are the hardest one, one of the hardest ones in the game. Without the lamp.
I will make a slight disagreement with you on that one, because I consider the Dark Maze in Palace of Darkness to be harder.
Can't see that.
I mean, I still have trouble with that room and with the lamp. We got a hobo check from both runners. Some red hot chili peppers and 300 rupees.
Very generous seeds. If they ever find the flute, they can easily buy potions.
To answer chat's question, yes, Dynasty is playing as Gary's lunchbox.
Dynasty, they're falling behind each other. Dynasty looks like he's about to go to Zora as well.
Well, it's a reasonable and logical play at this point. Big love and a big 20 from the waterfall fairy chests.
Yeah, and this is 5 items altogether when you include the hobo.
Yeah, that's... And there's our first sword.
Yep. So now the question is, do you make the gamble on Aga 1 with everything you have?
I think not without the lamp. With the lamp,
true,
I'd
they
consider
still do not
it.
have the lamp.
With the lamp, I'd consider it because at this point, if I get the lamp, I would be thinking that the seed is pushing me to Aghanim. And by the way, we get blue mail from Zora, from King Zora.
Yes, pretty nice for 500 rubies.
Totally worth 500 rubies.
And BK going to escape. See where Dynasty goes, whether he's gonna go to Hill Eastern Palace. No,
nope, Dynasty's heading up to... We've got a check green pendant in Hera, blue pendant in Eastern, and a crystal, but I didn't notice which crystal. I didn't notice if it was a 5 or 6 in Desert.
I didn't either. Flute in the first chest of escape.
Swag duck incoming.
Very nice find. That opens up Death Mountain to them to a degree.
Or at least one item on Death Mountain. Well, 2 items if you can do the Death Mountain cave in the dark.
Which is fairly easy. It's not too difficult, thankfully. And the mirror. That opens up Hera for them.
Yes, it does. Which is 3 items. 2 from the dungeon and 1 from Green Pendant.
Which they might not even be able to do, depending on if the big key is down in the basement.
That's true. You may need a fire source for that.
They might just be able to walk in right now. Dynasty putting that boomerang to work.
Where did he find the red meringue?
I don't remember right offhand.
BK getting
Ice Rod Cave, okay.
BK getting the Cane of Brian.
Fairly nice cane to have. It lets you check Spike Cave, possibly.
It's also
Though they don't
an
have
alternative.
the Moon Pearl.
It is also an alternative way to be blind.
True. And bytesizedBK going to check the dark rooms back here.
Now, I've seen some races in this tournament where runners have been hurt by sequence breaking dark rooms.
That's true. This is a sequence break, and it can lead you, can get you very well off the path of where the logic wants you to go in. Oh, and he takes a death. But the bottle had a fairy in it, apparently. I did not see what the bottle had, so that's a very good thing to have, at least.
Meanwhile, Dynasty gets his swag duck.
Yes, he's probably heading up Death Mountain with that, or maybe Desert, check Tina's cave. Nope,
It's
he's
Death
going
Mountain.
right. Yep, he's going right up Death Mountain.
At least 2 items will be available to him up here. Depending, and possibly more depending on how Tower of Hera is set up.
Yep. 20 rubies on Spectral Rock. And what's inside? Just a piece of heart.
A piece of fart.
He's going right for Hera. And there's Dark World. 5 and 6 is Ice Palace and Skullwoods with Pod being red pendant.
Never liked seeing Pod as a pendant. Always preferred
No,
to see.
It's not one you want to see. Not one you want to see optional.
Always preferred to see, like, say, Ice Palace as a pendant.
Though the one you really don't want to see is a pendant, because at that point it's almost always required in this logic.
Skullwoods.
Total Rock. I was gonna say Total Rock.
Oh yeah, that one too. I was going to say before Dynasty opened that chest that the chest at the top of the big room on first floor had to be either a big key or small key.
Yes. If it was a small key, then they could not do anything in here.
BK just picked up Das Buch. BK can now do the front side of Desert.
Very true.
We've got a
hammer
hammer.
and Hera.
Halt, for the hour of the hammer is upon us.
That is a piece to get into Dark World.
Now all Dynasty needs is the Power Glove.
And they still need the Moon Pearl.
Well, he still needs the Moon Pearl to do anything in Dark World, but the Power Glove will get him in.
Yes. Dynasty going for hammer straps. I mean, 3 hammer strikes if he doesn't get knocked off.
Well, and if I don't have at least Tempered Sword when I run up against Trolldorm, I always do hammer strats. If I've got the hammer. And we've got a Moon Pearl. Speaking of it,
that completely clears out Hera. They do not need the basement.
Red crystals are 5 and 6, which are Skullwoods and Ice Palace, to answer our tracker in chat. And by the way, if you're not following these runners, why aren't you? You should be. And Dennis just has a 5 arrow upgrade.
Yes, and a shield upgrade on Lookout. But yes, please make sure you give these runners a follow. Both Dynasty0 and bytesizedBK.
They're top quality runners, and I can't say about Bite-Sized because I haven't done any commentary with him, but Dynasty0 is a top-notch commentator as well.
Was Bite Size about to go into his Tower of Hell to get his Moon Pearl and Hammer, while Dynasty is clearing out Death Mountain.
Now this cave, I have seen a seed in this tournament where this cave had the piece of heart was the worst of the 5 items. Got a 10 arrow upgrade and a 5 bomb upgrade in the lower part of the cave, but in this upper part, the worst of the 5 items was a piece of heart. The next worst was half magic.
I can never consider half magic a bad item.
Well, when the other 3 are 3 sword upgrades.
That is very true.
Yeah, I don't consider half magic to be a bad item either. There's a shield.
Now, question here. If you're in Hookshot Cave, do you go and get the fire shield to hopefully get mirror?
I don't know, but we've got a power glove. We've got Dark World access.
That we do.
I love the power glove. It's so bad.
Well, before he goes to the Dark World, he's gonna go check the back half of his cape.
Hey! In response to the chat comment about that reference being dated, it's from my youth.
BK picking up his hammer.
I agree it's dated, but so am I.
And yes, Aghanim is not required anymore, or Aga 1 is not.
Which
They have
I
full
love
access
seeing.
to Dark World.
I love seeing Aghanim not required.
It is always a very nice feeling to see that.
Although the dream for the commentators is pedestal seats. Bite Size picks up his Moon Pearl.
Well, now the dream is the true dream, if you want to get to the dreams, is pedestal required without them knowing about it, because it's either the mushroom or the shovel or the magic powder.
Oh, fetch quest pedestal required. That's just mean. Or pedestal required, but requires blind pull.
Well, now sadly we won't get that since BK found the book.
True. That one is out of play, but pedestal required blind pull is still a dream seed for commentators.
And you can almost consider the fetch quest a blind pull as well, if you're on the lookout for something.
Well, that's true. That's true. And the chest game has the single arrow.
So they'll run validated at least.
Now we call it the validation arrow because there's only one of it there's only one single arrow chest in the game.
Well, there was. Now there's 2, I think, when they changed it up a little bit and added a few items.
I thought they just added 2 more big 20s.
That I'm not sure.
Some big love in the Sea House. I didn't notice what was in the bomb hut, so it couldn't have been anything that good.
I didn't either, sadly. I looked away for just a moment.
Dynasty checking
BK.
my favorite dungeon in Dark World, Thieves Town.
Well, with the Cane of Brian and all that, it is a very easy place to clear out. And they can full clear it if they have the hammer.
Yes, and there's 4 items in the dungeon, so it makes it a good place to check. And it's a crystal dungeon anyway, so if you can full clear a crystal dungeon and you're looking for items, in version 26 especially, you do it. Yes, BK picks up his bug net as well, which makes it all that much more unfortunate that Aghanim is not required.
Well, we can still have Swaganim strats on Aghanim too.
That's true, and BK heading up to the Cave of Inevitable Disappointment.
No, not this time. It does have Titan's Bits.
And Master Sword.
So, no, it was a really good cave overall. Sword upgrade and Titan's Mitts. I guess BK is going to go ahead and check bombos while he's here.
Can't say that's a bad idea. I usually wait and check it when I do Gary's lunchbox, but...
Well, you're already in the area, so... And same when I can.
Bombos is just a piece of heart. Now he's heading over to make the play on Desert.
That's gonna be... I don't know about... That's a hard decision to make since you can't complete it yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I'd make that play, but BK's better runner than I am, so I'm going to assume he's got a reason.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing he's hoping for a fire source here, whether it be the lamp or the fire rod, either one.
There's a big key. BK heading down to check the cannonball room. Picks up a pizza heart there. Dynasty, meanwhile, heading up, taking blind back up to finish off Thieves Town. Now the mirror in Desert Palace makes the run a lot easier. Blind asking if we were doing a blind run of this game. That's Blind, everybody. You're home for dad jokes. Dynasty down to 2 hearts. Gonna use Cane of Brian strats to finish off Blind. I love using Cane of Brian on that. BK, meanwhile, is heading over to check the Meyer shed and presumably what medallion is needed for Meyer. So Dynasty has green pendant and a crystal. BK heading into the Meyer shed. Doesn't go for the frame perfect trick to avoid the ball things, but gets a big 20 and a 5 arrow upgrade. Looks like, yes, he is heading over to check Checkerboard Cave. I'm guessing there was not a fire source in the front half of Desert Palace because BK then did not go to finish it. Now, what you're seeing on BK's side is called the mirror glitch, where if you hit the mirror as you're pushing a block, it makes the block disappear. Dynasty, meanwhile, heading into Skull Woods. Gets big 20. Skull Woods has 2 unique items in it, which doesn't sound like it would be all that great, except that in this logic, Skull Woods is very often the home of a progression item.
That is very true.
Far more often than the 2 items that it has would suggest. Picks up his key in the guaranteed key chest. That chest will always be a key.
No, now
Skull-
where's BK going? Okay, he was just stopping up there to. That's why he just saved and quit too. Though, now, unlike Dynasty, since BK does have his power gloves, he is going to be able to fully clear out Village of Outcast.
Yes, he'll be able to do breadsmiths as well as the rest of Village of Outcasts. Although BK is heading first up to Skull Woods. Titansmiths were in Hype Cave, which, given that it had both Titansmiths and a sword upgrade, I'll actually call it Hype Cave this time.
Yes, it was a very, very hot cave, and Dynasty will most certainly be going to it.
And Skull Woods was a disappointment in that it only had 2 big 20s.
I'm guessing Dynasty's going up here for a pedestal shit?
I'm guessing so, since he doesn't have the fire rod to open up the backside. And the mirror bonk. What does that pedestal have?
BK unfortunately getting grabbed by the beholder and just a piece of love on the pedestal. So no pedestal, see you guys.
But the dream is still alive for, as I put it, Fetch Quest Purgatory.
As well as it being a pseudo pedestal seed, what I call it, where you still have Ice Armos and Cold, well no, not Cold Step, but Helmasaur could have progression items.
Well, that's true. That's true. If we see Armos and Helmasaur with progression items, then although I like these runners enough not to wish an all dungeon clear on them. And you should like these runners too. You should give them a follow here on Twitch. Also do want to give a shout out to our tracker, Drake Tempest, and our restreamer, S Diesel.
Most certainly, without them, we could not be hosting this tournament or this match right now. Please most certainly give them a follow as well.
Dynasty gonna take care of. Oh, we've got Red Goo on Bumper Cave, and BK is going to go and get it.
It's not a bad play since it's not that hard to do, since with you only having one bottle. And bottles are always very nice safety items.
Very much so. Yeah, I do not disagree with this play. Takes a little bit of time to get the bottle, but it's a lot less time than would be taken if you take a death at an inopportune moment on, say, Cold Stare.
Or Ganon even.
Yes, or Ganon, or Trinax. Because one thing I've noticed is that a lot of these runners in the tournament do not get that safety door in Laser Bridge Room.
It depends on how my health and my magic is looking. And if I have magic powder or not to get depending. It really depends on my setup if I'm going to go for that safety door or not.
Yeah, magic powder is a beautiful thing. Okay, we've got BK heading into King's Tomb. Okay, that's an interesting way to get into King's Tomb. I do not... How does that work?
Now that I would not know, but I haven't really practiced that myself, the dash glitch for that. I have not really tried that for myself here lately, sadly. Dynasty about to get his sword upgrade and Titan's Mitts.
Bite Size heading back over to Village of Outcasts.
And Dynasty looks like he's heading back that way as well. Has either of them did the digging game yet? I don't remember.
Not that I have noticed.
Dynasty about to check old Stumpy.
Old Stumpy just has 10 arrows. Now, for the most part, I prefer the cape to the Cane O'Brien. But the blind fight, I definitely prefer the cane.
Most definitely, since it also damages blind as if it was just a regular sword. And blind doesn't care how you hit him, just as long as he's hit. 3 times for each hit.
Now, you mentioned digging game as Dynasty heads over to do the digging game. Digging game is coded so that it will guarantee you that you get an item sometime between dig number 1 and dig number 30. And it's just a big 20. Now, the big 20 rupee is the most common item in the randomizer. There are, I believe, 28 of them.
Let me look real quick. I can tell you.
I know there are 24 heart pieces. Oh, Dynasty using one of my favorite glitches from the Japanese 1.0 version. The Hammer Dash.
Yes, the item dash is very nice.
Only to find another big 20. But Dynasty returning the the other blacksmith to his brother. Only to get red mail.
Well, it looks like they're not just blacksmiths, but they're also seamstresses as well.
And now the chest following the chest.
Where else is Dynasty going?
Presumably to give Gary back his lunch.
Well, it looked like he was about to try and flute there. So I'm guessing he's going to check Bombos as well.
Oh, that's right, because BK checked Bombos. He didn't.
Yes, BK has already checked Bombos, the only one that did with Dynasty. For his heart piece. While BK starts his fight with mine.
And uses Kane O'Brien to finish him off. Her off. Whatever. Dynasty gets his piece of heart from the swirly coin marker, which completes a heart for him. Dynasty flutes up to Death Mountain, perhaps to check Ether, or perhaps to do Dark World Death Mountain.
That too.
Or possibly both. It could still be both.
Well, now right now, Spike Cave is in the logic as well, since they have the cane and the cave.
Yes, that is true. And the hammer.
And the hammer, yeah.
Okay, Lightning Coin Tablet has just 5 rupees. I'm going to say I think this is a pretty even race thus far.
Yeah, just about. They are. I would give Dynasty the slight lead right now. But not by a lot, if any.
Yeah, not by much. Dynasty heads into Super Bunny Cave. I don't know if I would come up and do... I don't know if I'd do Dark Death Mountain right now. Without the hook shot.
Yeah, because you can only get the one chest in Hookshot Cave right now.
Quack! And another big 20. BK heading over to Stumpy. And checks the ledge, which is just a 5-arrow upgrade. And then flutes away, presumably to head over to... Yeah, flutes away over to the sluice gate to turn in Gary's lunchbox for a red potion.
Looks like BK is heading up to Dark Death Mountain right now.
Dynasty checking Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla, gets the mushroom and a sword upgrade. And I don't know who called it in chat, but someone in chat real early called sword upgrade in the back of Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla's hut. Bacon sword is
headed to Eastern.
Bacon sword is certainly good to complete the game with.
Oh yeah,
I would not care to.
Silvers.
I would not care to try it with Master Sword Ganon, but Tempered Sword Ganon is very, very doable. BK looks like BK is gonna see what medallion is needed to open up Turtle Rock. BK does have Quack, but it is Bombos to open Turtle Rock.
Ooh.
I did not notice what was in that chest on Dynasty's side. And see, now this is why I would wait until I had Hook Shot. Why I would most likely wait for Hook Shot before doing Dark Death Mountain.
Though the thing is, the hook shot could be in that chest.
That's true. It could.
The bow
in
yellow bow
Eastern.
in Eastern.
Well, that's at least a little bit trolly. BK does pick up the shield upgrade on Floating Island.
I can't argue with that, because Fire Shield is a very nice thing to have.
Okay, I fail to grok how that room works, because I keep seeing runners get only two of the skeletons in there, and I don't know how it happens. I don't know how that works. How to get that. Also, Vanilla Big Key in Eastern Palace.
Is this even randomized?
Who randomized this seed?
Dynasty going for his sequence break. So anything that Ice Armos could have will be a sequence break for them.
Yes, anything that regular Armos has is technically a sequence break, and Big Chest in here is technically a sequence break.
Getting that damage clip very nicely.
That's another clip. I cannot get the damage boost through there at all. I just don't know how to do it.
It's one of those things that you gotta go at the right angle.
And just a big 20. Although I will ask, do you want to have a fetch quest? And
So
just
Ice
a big
Armor does not have any items.
yes, and it's big love in the big chest in Eastern.
So nothing that can mislead him. While BK's going to, I think, Pod, it seems.
He may be setting up the mirror outside of Pod. He may be setting up a mirror spot outside of Pod to look at Eastern first, and that would, as we know, would be the right play to make.
Very much so with Vanilla Bow.
Dynasty perhaps going to look at Swamp. He can get in and do almost all of Swamp.
No, I think he's going for the Pyramid.
Okay, Pyramid is a good play there too. And Bite Size is doing exactly what I thought he was doing, which was set up a mirror spot and go through what he can get through of Eastern, which will get him his bow, which will then make Pod completely clearable. Well, except for the dark rooms.
Which Lantern could be in Pod. Nope,
Nope,
it's on the pyramid ledge.
I love Lamp.
Lamp is always a very nice thing to have.
And now Dynasty's heading over to go into Pod.
I'm guessing not optic. Well, he's leaving an item in there which he doesn't know is just a piece of heart. Or a big heart container. So he is taking that gamble.
It is so much better to route Pod when you have the mirror.
Oh, very much so.
Routing Pod without the mirror is just miserable.
Because you have to do all that backtracking if you don't, especially if you don't have the hammer.
Oh. I wouldn't even attempt Pod without mirror or hammer.
Right now, both players in Pod. Having cleared out, I think, just about the same amount of everything. I think they're pretty right on pace with each other.
They're taking a little bit of a routing difference, though.
I'm thinking that Dynasty is hoping. Oh, the hook shot.
Oh my.
But the only thing I can think of is that since you have a more the small keys in the front of Pod, he's hoping that him getting to the back half earlier will get him the items he wants.
Yes, I've heard another commentator in the tournament refer to Pod as the mullet of dungeons. It's all business in the front, all the keys and such in the front, and party in the back with all the items.
I will agree with that wholeheartedly. Rambler hoping for Dynasty to win, so no tiebreakers in chat.
I I'm kind of pulling a little for BK because I want the tiebreakers. I love tiebreaker races.
Well, I can understand why Rambler doesn't want it, because that would mean that he has one more match to try and get through.
Now, the beautiful thing about coming in here with Tempered Sword is that those turtles, once you knock them over with the hammer, one swing with the Tempered Sword takes care of it.
Now, BK's gonna have to do dark rooms, while Dynasty, on the other hand, since he visited the pyramid, won't have to.
Okay, BK gets a key out of that chest. And I'm not sure what he got out of the other one.
I'm not sure either. We'll find out when Dynasty goes through. And BK going to the dark maze.
Oh man, I have trouble with this room with the lamp.
Compass in the first one. BK's going through there fairly easily overall, not having too much trouble. And with the big key in the other one.
That surprises me a little that that didn't show up. I thought all the dungeon items showed up, even in the dark.
I'm not sure. I try not to do dark rooms as much as possible if I can help it.
I'm with you there.
And the bloomerang.
I didn't notice what was in big chest.
3 bombs.
Ah. So I just didn't notice it because it wasn't important.
Exactly. bytesizedBK giving up on pod for now. Helmasaur does have an item though.
Oh good, you were keeping count.
I wasn't. I just looked at Dynasty's screen and noticed that he has all 3 dungeon items right now.
Oh, good call.
I am horrible at keeping count in dungeons.
Yeah, this is why I use a tracker that has the number of chests on it, that has the number of items for each dungeon on it. I'll tell you, if you don't run this, if you don't run Randomizer, the community is very welcoming. It's a great community. They're very helpful to new runners. And BK heading in to do Swamp, as we know, he needs to go up to the pyramid to get the lamp.
Yes, especially for Maya.
Maybe for, well, yeah, that dark room in Meyer basement is bad.
Very much so. So the only hope for BK is that Helmasaur does not have a progression item.
Well, if Helmasaur does have a progression item, there's not a lot of time loss, because all he has to do is go back to get
No, because he might go back for the big chest. He never got that as well.
Oh.
He got stuck in the dark room, sadly. And one silver takes down Helmasaur. Bombos!
Bombos.
That is not good for BK. That was not what he wanted to see there. Or what he needs to be there. Which we know Bombos is Turtle Rock's medallion.
Yep. All 3 pendant dungeons required.
Yep. Two of them having to be completed.
Yeah, 2 of them having to be full cleared. Possibly all 3. Oh wait, no, Armos doesn't have an item.
No, almost I think had either the compass or the map.
Oh, I've stopped going the route that BK is going in this part of Swamp because I'm too likely to flood that key.
Same. I've done that in one of my races in the tournament. Nothing in my tool shed.
And Checkerboard Cave just has big love. Oh, Dynasty can get into both medallion dungeons now.
Well, right now he cannot get. He can enter it, but he can't really get into Turtle Rock because he doesn't have the tank.
Yeah, he can open. I should say he can open both medallion dungeons. He has both required medallions. That's a better way to put it.
Dynasty might be going to check Hookshot Cave right now. Or maybe Spike.
Maybe Spike Cave, then Hookshot Cave.
Very possibly. Spike Cave is something that a lot of runners forget about. No. Wait. No, he's going back. Very good.
I never liked Spike Cave. Now, Dynasty taking the slightly smarter play with no half magic of using Cane O'Brien there.
Very much so. It uses a little less magic than the cape. Though opting not to go over to Hookshot Cave.
I think that's a very odd play.
He's going for more items down in the swamp.
Although, as we've seen on BK's side, there hasn't really been anything in Swamp.
No, not yet.
But I can't blame the play because there are 6 unique items. It is the most of any dungeon.
Very much so. There's the big key. He's gonna run up here and check that. Hopefully not pressing anything on these stairs. Which he does.
Oh, that's how that happens?
Yes. These stairs are very poorly coded, apparently. If you're pressing any direction on those stairs, down, up, side, or any of the side directions, it will instantly take you back down. If I'm not mistaken. those are those are the dumbest stairs which cannot tell which direction you're going. Was the burrito. Was in the big chest.
So that looks like Argus is going to have the last item. This certainly has not been a poverty seed.
Most definitely not.
I wonder what strat we'll see once the cheese puffs are down.
Well, they don't have the fire rods, so they can't do that strat right now. And he's gonna go for target shooting. Or was. But two spins take Argus down fairly quickly.
But nothing in Swamp.
No, and if I was BK right now, I would not go back in the pod right now just thinking about it. If I was in BK shoes.
I think if I were in BK's shoes, if I went up and got the lamp, I might go back into pod. If I got the lamp from Pyramid, I might go into pod. Go in and finish off pod. Because it's close. Because it's close and because there's not a lot left to get from it.
Well, the only thing we hope is that he was counting on, they know there's at least 2 more items in there for him. One of them being bombos, which he has to have.
Okay, where is he fluting to?
He's debating.
He is fluting to finish off to finish off pod.
Very good. That's what he needs to do.
I'll tell you the other dungeon that seems to have items disproportionate to the number of chests is Ice.
Well, now, right now, they can't get into Ice, sadly. Well, Dynasty can.
Yeah, Dynasty can get into Ice because he's got bombos.
Which BK will here soon as well. No, and I am willing to put some money. I'd almost be willing to put some money on this. I'm betting that Fire Rod is going to be in Ice Palace. Because there's not a lot of places for them to check left.
I didn't see, did they get 2 items out of Desert?
I don't remember right offhand, actually. I
remember,
forgot about the Desert.
I remember seeing 1. I don't remember if I saw 2. If there's 2 items in Desert, or if there's still an item left in Desert,
it would be on Landmolus.
It would be on Landmo, and I would probably do it.
Well, they can't do land. Well, yeah, no, they can. They do have the lamp, yeah.
Because with the lamp, now they can finish Desert. Although with nothing useful in Swamp. With nothing useful in Swamp, it's got to weigh on both of their minds that they could have go-moded Swamp. They could have skipped Swamp until the end and go-moded it.
Well, when you're looking for items, sadly, Swamp with 6 items in it, Swamp Palace, besides Turtle Rock, which technically considers have 6 with Mimic Cave.
Yeah, there's 5 plus Mimic Cave for Turtle Rock, and 6 in Swamp, and 5 in Pod. So those are always good, solid plays.
Even if, well, Pod is a little quicker in go mode.
Turtle Rock is a little quicker in go mode if you have good luck with keys.
Yes.
That was a very nice Silver Arrow strat from Dynasty on Argus.
Yes. Very much so.
Okay. BK gonna finish off Helmasaur, gonna get his Bombos.
Though, where does Dynasty go after this? He might be making the play on ice.
Looking like ice.
Though there's one overworld place they have not checked, which I'm surprised, which is Catfish.
There is Catfish. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitesize head up and do Catfish at this point. He's not really gonna be any closer.
No.
Are we gonna see the bomb jump from Dynasty?
I know most players know it.
I think without the cane, you have to do bomb jump.
No, you do not. Well,
no, you don't have to do bomb jump, but you don't have to do bomb jump. But I think without the cane, bomb jump, not doing bomb jump is a massive waste of time, potentially.
Yes, because you have to go through the whole palace twice. Once to go down there and hit the switch, and then coming back up, and then going back down where the big key chest is to again to hit.
Yeah.
To actually push down the block.
That is so satisfying to get the 2 Stalfos Knights with a single bomb.
Oh yeah. It always looks good too. Dynasty setting up his bomb jump,
which we saw him practicing before the race started.
Well, now a lot of your bigger runners will not opt to do the weird sprites like Gary's Lunchbox because of this.
Yes, because it can be a lot harder to set up tricks like this bomb jump. For instance, the only setup I know for it is based on the Link sprite.
Looking at the top of his head?
Yep.
Luigi is the same way. You can do Luigi the same way at the top of his head.
That's good to know.
Yes, I only know that because that's the sprite I normally use is Luigi's sprite.
Looks like the pug is the same way too.
Yes, the pug, the girl, and a couple other sprites are the same pixel height as Link is. So it's the same setup.
I'm not sure why Dynasty0 was using the bomb there. Why he didn't just use the hook shot
just got
glitch.
the big key in Fire Rod in Ice Palace.
Oh dear. Well, I'm not sure why he didn't use the hook shot glitch.
Oh no, that I don't know.
And falling down, looking to get a fairy out of here.
Yes.
Which is definitely a wise move with Cold Stare in the offing.
Though, did they find all 3 items already?
If Dynasty didn't find all 3 items, he's acting like he did.
I wasn't counting, so I
say no.
tell
I'm
you.
going to say no since BK is continuing to clear the dungeon.
I'm thinking that Dynasty is just hoping that Fire Rod was the only thing that was in here.
Oh, that's not a gamble I would ever take.
All that Cold Stare has the other progression item. If it's in here.
Or
See,
the Cold Stare has the small key to get over to the rest.
True. The Cane of Samaria.
What? Why, it's the cane. Wow.
Right now, the only item they need for go mode is the Ice Rod, which can be literally anywhere.
Which can be anywhere except on Trinex.
Yep, except Ganon's Tower Trinex. It can be anywhere out there.
I kind of hope BK finds the Ice Rod.
Would give him a great advantage.
And nothing against Dynasty. I like Dynasty. He's a great runner, a great commentator, and a good guy. But it would serve him right for skipping out to have 3 progression items in Ice Palace. And
the shovel, though.
Do you want to have a fetch quest?
So
oh man,
is still alive.
Shovel into powder into Ice Rod.
I'd be okay with that. Because it gets me the shovel and go mode. Or the powder and go mode.
Well, see, I'm good with that because it gets me fetch quest. It gets me the fetch quest purgatory. Okay, Dynasty heading into Mire.
If you want to go into fetch quest purgatory and I've never seen this. I'm hoping to see it one day in a race. Where Aga 1 fetch mushroom on lumberjack ledge and shovel in pedestal both being required.
BK better be careful.
But he gets him down very. He gets him down though for his Canis Mario.
Okay.
Did they find both items in Skull Woods?
Yes, they were both big 20s.
Alright.
Now, I guess I'm weird because I always route Meyer differently.
Well, there's multiple routes you can take in Maya to get to. I'm guessing BK is going up to go ahead and finish off Skull Woods.
Which is not necessarily a bad play. I mean, it's got to be done. It's a crystal dungeon. Dynasty's a little low on health.
I do believe he got that red goo as well.
I do believe you're right.
Huh?
I do believe you're right.
I don't remember if he got it from Bumper Cave though. I don't remember if he got Bumper Cave though. That's the only thing. So they are both at 3 bottles, so it is safe to say that he did. So far, Maya not having anything. So right now, it's hard to say who has the lead right now.
Dynasty heading down to Vitreous. Presumably, he's gotten both items out of here.
I don't remember. Okay, he still has a fairy though too.
Yes, he does still have his fairy.
But I'll have to take the red goo instead.
Oh, BK getting through Mothra pretty easy.
Yep, you know, of the two, I'd have to give the slight edge to Dynasty right now if the shovel doesn't have anything.
If the shovel has either Ice Rod or Butter Sword, I will give BK will have the advantage.
I don't know about that because the upgrade from Temper to Butter is not that big.
It's a big time save in Ganon's Tower, and it's a good time save on Ganon. It gives you the option of one. It gives you the option of one cycling instead of most likely 3 cycling Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Ganon.
They're doing nothing at the shovel though. So Dynasty's gamble paying off for him. So where is BK going right now? He's going to check
Catfish.
Fat Fairy.
Oh, yes.
That's why he
Cutting up
went
the
on ahead and
huge
did.
tracts of land.
And that's why he went on ahead and did Skull Woods.
I wasn't even thinking that Skull Woods was Crystal 5 or Crystal 6.
Nor did I. I had forgot about that.
Now, Dynasty doing one of my favorite maneuvers where you complete Mire and then mirror over to Desert.
Dynasty about to gain the land mow.
Which, with Silver Arrows, that's a pretty straightforward and easy fight. Come on, let's see something good here.
Fat Fairy having nothing.
Because it's very easy to forget about Fat Fairy.
No, I think he's gonna go check Catfish now.
Again, Catfish is not something that's easy to route in.
It really isn't, especially if you already did Zora and all now.
I've seen several runners who have chosen not to check Zora and Waterfall Fairy until they're checking Catfish. And Catfish is another one that Dynasty might not check for quite a while.
Very true. And Catfish has been known to have some really good items on him too.
Dynasty gonna head up and finish Skull Woods.
Catfish having nothing. Which I think pretty much just leaves T-Rock for Ice Rod.
I think you're right.
The only hope for BK right now is if Dynasty decides to go check the overworld locations as well before heading up to T-Rock.
Which, let's be honest, I would too. I would absolutely check all the overworld locations.
I mean, he's been making some fairly risky gambles so far, so he might not.
But again, this is one reason I'm not in this tournament.
So, that is the reason why I'm knocked out of the tournament right now. So yeah, that is very true.
Oh, I like the use of the Kana Samaria blocks in that room.
Oh, Dynasty getting grabbed.
You know, worst grab I've ever had in this dungeon. I once got grabbed while I was falling into the Mothra fight.
Oh.
It's one of the bits of, let's call it poor coding in the Japanese 1.0 version.
Well, let's be honest here, and it's the truth with all Zelda games. None of them have great coding. When you look at all the glitches you could do.
Yeah, I suppose I can't really argue with that.
Because one of the most broken games of all time is Ocarina of Time.
I was never really an Ocarina of Time player.
Neither have I, but I know about a lot of the glitches in the game.
Dynasty having a little bit of trouble with Mothra, but not too much.
I think BK's opting to go right down to Vitreous.
Which, as we know, it's a good play.
He might think he's behind.
I can't see how he wouldn't with the double dip in pod.
He's not going back into Skull Woods, is he? Or is he might be checking Northern Dark World.
Yeah, he's gonna go check Northern Dark World.
That's very true. It does not mean bad coding overall.
Which
Now this is gonna be BK's time to catch up to Dynasty.
Yeah, we know BK has already checked these Northern Dark World locations. And BK heading into to Vitreous with Silvers. I love Vitreous. I love the Silver Arrow Vitreous fight. Nice zero cycle.
He's the only boss besides Ganon that is actually vulnerable to Silvers that takes more than one.
It's a very nice zero cycle. I think you're right though about it. At this point, I think it has to be in Turtle Rock.
And BK going right over in the desert.
BK's going to finish off desert and head straight up there.
So with Dynasty checking overworld locations, this became a much closer race.
But I can't blame them for checking those overworld locations. They're perfect. They're very reasonable checks.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to have to double dip into T-Rock.
I once had a seed. It was no Aghanim, no pedestal. 3 hours. Double dip Ice Palace. Triple dip Swamp.
Ooh. Yeah, I can see you having a triple dip Swamp actually.
With a Turtle Rock in between the first and second dip into Swamp.
Where is Dynasty? Oh, he's gonna go check Fat Fairy.
Yep.
The worst play that Dynasty can make right now is going back into Ice Palace. Because if I'm not mistaken, he went right down to Cold Steel.
He did. He skipped the shovel. But I can see him doing it. I can see him making that dip back into ice. Just to make sure he doesn't have to double dip Turtle Rock. Because if he goes straight into Turtle Rock and is wrong, then he's wasted a whole lot more time than to make the dip into ice.
That is very true.
So just from a logical just from a logical standpoint of risk and reward, it's objectively the right play. Not knowing what we know, that shovel is useless.
Exactly.
It's objectively the right play to go back into ice.
No, now the decision. Where does he go after this?
Did BK open up Turtle Rock or not?
Yes, he couldn't have. Neither player could have. Dynasty never got the old man. No, after this.
Oh, wait a minute. There's Hookshot Cave. Neither one of them checked Hookshot Cave.
Which bytesizedBK can go in and check right before going up to T-Rock. And Dynasty making the right call for the seed. And looks like he's heading right up to T-Rock.
But BK is ahead.
Yes, he is, but not by much, though.
Not by much. This is going to be a great finish. This is going to be a great finish, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around for it.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all you follow both these runners, bytesizedBK and Dynasty, putting on this great show for us.
And make sure you follow our restreamer S Diesel and our tracker Drake Tempest too. They're doing a phenomenal job. Bite Size heads into Turtle Rock, which, as we know at this point, has to have the ice rod.
Yes, unless there's something we're missing that even we forgot about.
Yeah, unless there's something both of us have forgotten about, and I don't think that's likely.
There it is. Ice rod, first chest in Turtle Rock. And with that, bytesizedBK is in go mode.
Now, Go Mode Turtle Rock looks a whole lot like Full Clear Turtle Rock.
Yes, it does, because of the layout of the dungeon. Oh, Dynasty still had it's not as close a race as we were hoping though, because Dynasty still had to check Hookshot Cave.
There's an ether, there's a key. Bite Size doing what Bite Size routing this part like I do, which is to mirror out from that room.
Yes, it's a little it's runner's preference at that point. It's about the same length, really. Half magic. It depends on what item I have at the time and how easy I can get down to the mirror. But now we come up to the great equalizer room of chain chomps.
Chain Chomp hugs are second best hugs.
Only second to Ganon, which are the best hugs.
I think each of these runners is probably figuring the other one is ahead.
Oh, you'd almost have to at this point.
Which means we could see some very...
If not ahead, right on pace with you, which they both are. They're about right on pace with each other.
Which means we could see some very interesting gambles in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, okay, I'm about to say, I almost thought bytesizedBK was going to gamble for not going to check the vanilla Big E location.
BK is got very low health and no powder.
No, but he still had that red potion.
Good point. He does still have the red goo.
But I know he's already used his fairy, though. Unless he's caught another one and I just didn't see it. I do remember him taking that death, I do believe, in Thieves Town.
And he's low on
magic. But does get a full magic drop off of it at least.
Now he needs, what, one more key? Two more keys. No, two more keys.
Yes.
One in Crystal Switch and Roller Room, and the other at the end of the bridge. The other by Laser Bridge.
Yes, which
he did not get one. He's going to have to go into Laser Bridge. He did not get a key out of Big Chest. Which means there must be a key in this chest.
Very nice bonk strat there to get over the roller pin.
Now I always get out the hook shot in this room that BK is in to avoid taking any damage from the fire bars.
Pulling out the lag cane. Oh, and he ran out of magic.
But he's going to take the safety door.
Now that doesn't mean he still can't get. He can still get to the chest.
Yes, he can still get to the chest just like that.
He's gonna go and take a death here.
Yeah, that's actually a good. That's a good move to take the intentional death there and refill his hearts. Dynasty using the strat I use in that room with the hook shot, using the hook shot to avoid having to get. Yeah, there's no powder. They have no powder for fairies.
No, Dynasty in a much worse off way than BK was. He does not have any magic. But he does have green goo, I think.
Yes, he does have green goo. bytesizedBK heading into Trinex.
Which with Tempest Sword is a very easy fight.
Now, if Dynasty is set up to get the key first, but he does take a death there. Okay, BK.
But he does have the fairy, though.
But he does have the fairy.
Which
BK,
yeah, but
making his way through Trinex pretty easy.
Makes quick work of Trinex, and he's gonna be off to Ganon's tower.
Now,
which means, chat,
we have a tradition. What chest do you think we're gonna see the big key in? And unfortunately, I've got to find a new one because the chest that I usually pick happened in the race I was watching last night.
well, right now, since This seed hasn't been too trolly. I'm gonna go for tile room, number 22. Or number 3, depending on how you look at it.
That's my usual one is tile room. Dynasty taking an interesting strat on Trinex, letting the fire head come out and killing the ice head first.
I'm guessing since he only has half magic, he doesn't want any ice down at the floor, just to make Trinex a little easier.
I'm gonna say firebar room. Okay, BK gets a key, and he's gonna do the right side gamble.
It could all come down to the magic powder was on Trinex. I didn't see that.
We got powder from Trinex. I missed that too.
Thankfully, I'll track it, didn't it?
That's going to be really helpful up here in Ganon's Tower.
Oh yeah, with all the anti-fairies, most definitely.
Okay, BK skipped over tile room. Oh, I like that. I like the bonk strat with the cane block.
And depending on which way Dynasty goes, he's gonna make up a lot of time here.
I think it's pretty standard though if you get a key to go to the right side, to do the right side.
I've always been a fan of check those 2 chests and then go left, regardless. Normally,
I'm with you on that. I usually do go left. Check those 2 chests and go left. And Dynasty is doing that. Is going right side too. And skips tile room. Big key in Skeleton Bros room. So that was 8.
yeah. I was just trying to count that up myself. Trying to remember what all chests was on the left side.
It is now BK's race to lose.
Taking a little bit of damage from those mimics there, but gets through it fairly well.
These mimics are the reason why the bow is required in every seed.
Yes.
Now Dynasty heading to the left side. BK taking the intentional fall to set up the dash across Ganon Ball Run, and now he's gonna refill one of his bottles with a fairy,
Along with his magic.
Yes, along with getting a magic refill. I didn't know you could bonk across that.
Oh yeah, you can bonk
the other way. BK into the gauntlet.
I don't think BK will check that many more chests. The only quality of life improvements that he can have right now is half magic and butter sword.
Yeah. Even mirror shield is not really a thing that's going to help him.
No, not anymore. Anything that's got any projectile that's gonna hit you will go through mirror shield regardless. Right now.
Nice fire rod strat in that room.
Dynasty doing what I always like to do is just strafe the mimics to set up for the shots.
I always do the pull the statue. Nice
Same,
one
but
cycle Landmo 2.
oh yeah, very nice. Same, I normally try to do that as well, but when I get them up close to me, I'll turn and set them up where I'm strafing with the sword out. I can just shoot them while they're not facing me if I don't have the mirror shield. It makes it a lot safer.
And Dynasty also doing the intentional fall for the Cannonball run. Dynasty into the gauntlet. The red skeletons in the gauntlet are really the ones that give the most trouble.
Oh yeah. And that's just how skeletons work in the game. With any attack toward them, will try to bounce away.
Okay, I don't understand the reason for the way BK did the 4 torch room there.
I've seen that every now and then. It's just, if you're confident in your movement, you can do it that way, but that gives you very little time to get through.
Okay, BK does check his, as you put quality of life upgrades.
No, too close with the bomb. I mean, they're not that far out of the way checks, so I mean...
Yeah, I don't blame him for doing it. I usually check him as well if I don't have Butter Sword or half magic.
So that means he's gonna probably check the validation chest too.
We call this
Landmo 2.
We call this the validation chest because you never ever actually need it.
No, if you're up here already, you already know.
Oh, I hate this room BK is in right now. I generally just get the cape out, which he is doing, and just dash straight up the middle.
Well, you know, we say it's not needed. That room never needed. There's actually... You can come up here with just the fighter sword. Depending on how the logics get working.
You can get this far with just the fighter sword.
And the sword upgrade could be in that chest. I don't know if I would wish that kind of evil on anybody, but still, I mean, it's there.
And BK getting out the swag at him strats.
Very nice double to end it.
BK, and that lets the pig out to play.
So right now, this is BK's race to lose. It looks like we're gonna have a 3-way tie. Though Ganon has been known to cause some troubles for some runners.
Yeah, that's true.
A fall, a death, or something like that could, well, BK would have a hard time dying with him catching a fairy earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna say BK is probably not gonna die on this fight. Pulls out the cape.
I really don't know if I would have done that. I don't think he has any extra magic.
He's got blue goo.
Oh, he has blue goo. Just to prove me wrong, he had blue.
And he's into phase 3. most of the danger is through.
True, but you can still fall off though.
You can still fall off, and Ganon hugs are still the best hugs.
Getting through phase 3 fairly easily.
Gets the torch glitch. Which, without half magic, torch glitch is a big deal.
Well, with Timber and Silver Arrows, it's not that bad. You don't really need the torch glitch right now.
Oh, and the double.
The double to finish it off. And bytesizedBK ending with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 52 seconds.
Congrats to bytesizedBK.
Which will put a 3-way tie between New York Rambler, Sinhe, and him to see which of the 3 moves on.
And that's going to be one where 2 of those 3 will 2 of those 3 will move on, I believe.
Yes, they are all at the same record, yes.
And we'll get BK in here for a runner interview. Good game, sir.
Yeah,
Thanks. Oh man, this is a big one.
And Dynasty's heading into the Ganon fight right now.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be close. I did like basically everything. I felt so far behind.
Yes.
For like almost the entire race, it felt like. I think there's like one good decision that I really think that I made, and it was it's because of something that I did last race, which is also why I lost. I left a pendant dungeon, which in the last race was ice, after I got the mirror. And I was in pod and I got hookshot and I almost left, and then I kept trying to do the dark rooms and I don't know, I couldn't do it. So when I got lamp, I'm like, I either go back and finish pod, or pod has the exact item that I need and I lose the game. And
yeah,
lo and behold,
go back into pod or not.
Yeah, so that was pretty lucky. Other than that though, even after making that play, it's like I recovered, but I also had to make a double dip as a result of that. So and then like with Ice Rod, there was a couple places that I hadn't checked. I didn't check Ice Rod Cave, which would have been funny. I think I skipped one item in Mire, but I went to fight Vitreous thinking that I had both items. And then I realized at the end, I'm like, oh wait, no, I didn't do anything else on the right side, and I figured it was too much time to go back in.
Yeah, that was a gamble that you made, and Dynasty made the same gamble in Ice Balance. He went straight down to Cold Stare.
Oh wow, so he got really lucky then. That was actually the one thing I said to Dynasty earlier in the seed. I'm like, just please do not have Cold Stare hold the Cane of Samaria. Like, it's the only thing that I said, because this is what killed me last race. And he had it again. Like, how? How does this happen?
Dynasty missing torch glitch, but is in the last phase of Ganon.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Did we do anything like particularly differently?
No, you
Not
were
really.
very similar.
It's like I feel like there was a couple points where we had entry to Mire, but because I couldn't finish it, I didn't go in. And I'd assume, based on the sound of it, because if you make a Mire double dip is semi-costly. So I assume he didn't make that play either.
No, he did
No,
not.
he did not.
Yeah, the one thing I was worried about for a long time was Dark Death Mountain.
And Dynasty finishes off Ganon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here comes the dot done. Yeah, that's
And
less than
Dynasty-
we're what, 4.5 minutes apart. Wow.
yeah, 4.5 minutes difference. Dynasty done's and is officially done with an SRL time of 2 hours 17 seconds.
Wow.
Now with this does force the three-way tiebreaker between you, Ramla, and Senhi.
Yeah. I was really pushing for this one because I don't know, I got pretty fired up when I lost, actually. And it made me practice, which is lately it hasn't been super common because I have like other games that I want to play, and I'll just be like, oh, I'll play this because I have to beat it before Mario comes out tomorrow. And so today and yesterday I played like 4 seeds in the past 2 days, which is pretty rare. Normally, like I won't even do like 4 seeds in a week. But I felt like I played okay. I don't think I had any terrible boss fights, except Cold Stare was a little hairy. But I had potions.
Cold Stare's always a little hairy.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it was okay. Trying to think of what else. What else was like time costly? I went to Desert early because I had the book, but I wasn't thinking that I also had Mitts and Mirror at that point when I went in. So that kind of... A lot of times I'll take early book and like try to run with it because it's... I don't know, that's like one of those items that can mostly be anywhere. Because it doesn't really lock anything other than Desert.
And welcome GG to you, Dynasty.
GG's, bud. Good race.
Oh, yeah, it's very good game, Dynasty. Very good.
Man, this was a fun scene.
Yeah. I actually didn't mind it.
This was a lot of fun to commentate on.
Oh yeah.
There was enough like I don't know, stray items that it was probably all right for the chat. Ice Rod was nowhere to be found for a long time, so that's always good.
Ice Rod and T-Rock, yeah. And to your question, Ed and Rick, yes, we do have a 3-way tiebreaker in this for this group.
Now, Dynasty, now I'll let you guess. What do you think the item you missed in Ice Palace was?
Probably a shovel or something like that.
Oh,
it was.
So you guys said he went right to Cold Stare. So you didn't get shovel? Oh man.
No, I made a gamble to just skip it. I was like, I hope it's not the ice rod that's there or leading to the ice rod.
Yeah, I think it was a +5 bomb upgrade, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was.
You didn't miss much. Yeah, I made the same risk in Meyer after a while. Did you feel behind this race? Because I honestly felt like I was gonna get smacked by like 10 minutes.
Actually, I felt like I was doing pretty good in most of the race.
Yeah, I mean, if you made the play to go right to Cold Stare, that's got to be pretty good. Like that feels good when Cold Stare has Kane.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I said to you, though. I'm like, oh, just please do not let Cold Stare have the Kane of Samaria. So I was pretty mad. But it worked out.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun overall. I think I didn't do that bad. I mean, overall, didn't die to any bosses. Haven't made any major problems.
Yeah, this is a really close race.
I will say, Dynasty, your idea of going to hit Pyramid before going into Pod was a good play.
Yeah, because BK did not do that. He had a double dip in Pod before he did the Dark Rooms.
Yeah, I really don't like Pod in the darkness.
That was the one thing I tried because I knew I watched like all the races that my group plays, and like I had noticed that Dynasty doesn't like dark rooms a little bit. Like I don't think you tried to do any of them in the dark in any of your races. Like maybe Old Man Cave or something like that, but like or Eastern, but like not any of the longer ones. So I tried to do Escape in the Dark, which that was a bad, like it was a good play, but it was a bad play because I took way too long on it, and then we ended up getting gloves on Death Mountain.
Nice.
But oh,
So overall, y'all were kind of even throughout a lot of the race. I mean, a lot that y'all making a lot of the same plays.
Yeah, a lot of the same plays, and a lot of those plays were very logical plays.
yeah, I don't think
I was a little surprised. I was actually a little surprised to see Dynasty head up to Turtle Rock without going back to finish Ice, only because logically it would make more sense to do Ice, because if you were wrong on the Turtle Rock gamble, you lose a whole lot more time than if you're wrong on Ice.
That's true, but one thing I just kept in mind is if my opponent was going to the same race I was, if the ice rod wasn't in Turtle Rock, I was doing it anyway. So I took the risk.
Yeah. To be honest, I thought about making a similar play, but because I got burned so badly in the last race where I mirrored out of Ice Palace instead of finishing it, I was not going to take the gamble, and I full cleared. And it worked out for you, which is great. That's a pretty big time save. But
yeah, it's and also Ice Palace and Maya, I always tend to forget how many treasures there are in there. So for the biggest time, I was wondering, did I miss something in Maya? In Ice, I was pretty sure there was still something, but I was hoping it was nothing important.
yeah, Ice, and I think both dungeon items were, or it was like the compass and a key were, it was like a couple chests that you skipped, and then the shovel, which turned out to be nothing. So it's probably a good play to go to Cold Stare, I guess, and just like finish it and hope for the best. Because you had already, I guess Cold Stare, you wouldn't have known that they had an item. So I don't know. It worked out for you, which is really good. I don't know if it's great every time. But where were, like, there's a couple things that I'm just, like, confused as to where they could be. Like, I didn't find the red boomerang or the mirror shields or the butter sword.
No, we don't
I
know.
think that's it.
The red boomerang was in Ice Rock Cave.
Okay, so that I could have gotten.
I'm guessing the other sword and the other shield upgrade were going to be somewhere in left side Ganon's tower, maybe randomizer room or.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were in Eastern, because I skipped one chest. Once I got, I think the first one was like a bomb upgrade, and the second one was the bow. I gambled on not finishing it.
The other one was either a heart contain. I think it was a full heart container.
Okay.
You had vanilla big key, and big chest was a full heart container.
Okay, so that was a good move on my part to leave with the bow.
Anyway, good race, man. That was my last race, and I hope that your three-way race goes pretty well.
Thanks. Yeah, you really gave me a run, and I was feeling it. Like I felt the pressure on this one.
This was a heck of a race. If you're not following bytesizedBK and Dynasty0, give them a follow. Do it now.
And make sure you follow both our tracker, Drake Tempest, and our restreamer, S Diesel, as well. great race, and we will catch y'all there. I do believe that there's another race coming up on this channel sometime later tonight. Let me check the schedule real quick. It will be at 10 o'clock. A quad race between JTB and Subaroth and Bash and Mally. No, I'm sorry, Maniacal and Tate Shaman.
Yeah, that's that ought to be two pretty good races.
Which is coming up here in about an hour.
That's another one. If JTB wins that race, that will do exactly what BK winning this race did, and force a three-way tie for the top at the top of the of that group. I have been DM Stewart 1981.
I'm Thank you very much for watching, and hope y'all all have a good night.